the raging storm, a perpetual reminder of all of the terrible things happening not only in Dark Sunset Manor, but also around it. And Rob McCool, I am he, will not be able to remain only an observer and commenter for much longer. For Dark Sunset Manor is going to be getting not one, but two new residents. And Joseph Pennywise's widow is about to be victimized, or so it would seem, just outside the police jail and patrol station. And Chris Jennings, the perpetual victim of a full moon, has escaped from his cell, and he sees Cindy Sue on the sidewalk. An attack seems imminent as he closes in on what would appear to be his next victim. And in that secret room in Dark Sunset Manor, Octavia Merriweather has gotten an earful from the ghost of her deceased husband. Yes, Octavia, I contend that you were the one who murdered me, and I'm going to take you backward through time to the night of our second honeymoon, to that costume party, and through intense concentration, the ghost of Marshall Merriweather is able to make himself and Octavia vanish into the past to 1974, where there is a familiar face in the crowd. And now there is another familiar face in the crowd, Marshall Merriweather, but where is Octavia? And at Chris Jennings' nearly deserted hovel in the basement, Andrew Houseman, who is under Craig Jennings' spell, is giving an update to his vampire master. Yes, he's at the police jail and patrol station. Then that is where I need to go. And Andrew Houseman is thinking, oh, now I have some free time. Upstairs, Hilda Schroeder, the aunt of Craig and Chris Jennings, had lingered behind and was looking for a lawyer to help Chris, who had been arrested. She was also making plans to attend the funeral of Joseph Pennywise, a man whom she despised, but knew much better than anyone realized. And speaking of Joseph Pennywise, his funeral service will be starting soon at the nearby church. Inside, his son, Irving, is planning to say his last goodbyes to his father, but he's also thinking about who it is that could have murdered his father. And yes, he has some ideas. And it is at this point that one of the first of the funeral attendees arrives in the back of the sanctuary, a person who could very well have murdered Joseph Pennywise. And back at Dark Sunset Manor, in the memory care residence of Narcissa Glass, her daughter, Louise Smythe, touches the mirror containing her reflection, and the reflection transcends the mirror and joins Louise as a physical presence in the room. And then there's a switch. The actual Louise Smythe is pulled into the mirror to take her reflection's place. And back on the street, outside the police jail and patrol station, Cindy Sue is still blithely unaware that she is in imminent danger, but she's not going to be blithely unaware for long. No longer blithely unaware, Cindy Sue looks into the sinister eyes of the werewolf, who is Chris Jennings in disguise. Rob McCool back, the all-knowing, all-seeing owner of Dark Sunset Manor, and I've never appeared to any of the characters who live in Dark Sunset Manor or in the vicinity of Dark Sunset Manor, but that will change very, very soon. And right now, Cindy Sue is indeed looking right into the eyes of Chris Jennings as the werewolf, and I bet you can predict what is about to happen now. And as the lupine Chris Jennings rages at Cindy Sue, an image comes into his warped mind. He did not first see the sign of the pentagram on her face, like he did on Nurse Nellie Vauban, which means that she, and not Cindy Sue, is his next intended victim. And to Cindy Sue's utter astonishment, Chris Jennings, the werewolf, heads in the opposite direction. And Marshall Merriweather has headed in the direction of 1974 and has somehow lost his widow, Octavia, en route. Where, oh where, could she be? And he is being watched by the ghost who earlier identified himself as Maximilian Finn McCool. Meanwhile, Octavia is still in that secret room, her perfect opportunity to escape. That is, if the door were unlocked. However, she has an idea. She'll use a hairpin. And Octavia Merriweather deftly gets the door open, only to find it's blocked. And in the memory care residence of Narcissa Glass, her daughter, Louise Smythe, finds herself behind a pane of glass and in a realm that is a reversal of the world she knows. And on the reverse side of the mirror, Narcissa is left with the evil counterpart image of her own daughter, Louise Smythe, except that this double's name is Pandora. And back through the mirror, the real Louise Smythe is grappling with two problems. One, this new world is freezing cold, and two, everything is backward. Meanwhile, Malcolm Merriweather is back in the passageway that leads to that secret room, resolute that he is going to find his grandmother, who was able to get the door open, only to find a wall, and Malcolm Merriweather is on the other side of that very same door, which, when opened, reveals the very same closet, which Malcolm Merriweather knows from experience is not really there. And lo and behold, the back wall of the closet begins to disintegrate just like it has before. Grandmother, I found you! However, in the next instant, Malcolm Merriweather and his grandmother Octavia vanish. And while Octavia joins her dearly departed in 1974, Malcolm is nowhere to be found. I refuse to rest in peace, so please click on like, subscribe, and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. And now back to the dark side of Rob McCool. Meanwhile, back at the vintage 1974 costume party, Octavia's husband Marshall has again accused her of murdering him on this very night. Oh, Marshall, where are we? Is this 1974? Yes, Octavia, it's 1974. On the night when we celebrated our second honeymoon, it was also the night that you murdered me. And suddenly, Octavia recognizes a familiar face. And in spite of all the tumultuous events that have taken place the previous evening, on this day, all is calm and serene, at least so far, for it is the day of Joseph Pennywise's funeral. Yes, bereaved widow Cindy Sue is standing near her husband's casket. Chris Jennings and Nurse Nellie Vauban are there, although not together. Hilda Schroeder made it. Front desk attendant Andrew Hausman was able to leave his post guarding his creepy master, Craig Jennings, long enough to attend. And Irving Pennywise is wondering which one of these people, if any of them, was responsible for murdering his father. And meanwhile, back at a virtually deserted Dark Sunset Manor, on this same day, it seems a new resident has arrived, and with Irving Pennywise attending his father's funeral, it is up to me, the owner of Dark Sunset Manor, to greet these new residents, a woman named Judy Hickenlooper, who has decided that her husband, Toad Hickenlooper, can no longer function on his own and needs to reside in assisted living. Partially because he's been planning to leave her for years. And yes, Judy Hickenlooper introduced me to her husband, Toad. Get over here, Toad. Meet the nice man. Come now. And I was not prepared for what I was about to see. And back at the 1974 costume party, where Octavia makes a shocking announcement. Oh, Marshall, I'm not the one who killed you. I don't know who killed you. But now that we're here and I see him, I think he's the one who did it.